Welcome to the Amazon. Today's star is Yoshi, who retired in 1980 and is from a wealthy family. This guy has countless life experiences. Young, he took an unusual path, skipping school, work, marriage, and kids, like playing The Sims. So he went to Bolivia, another lively South American place filled with idealistic youth. The captain turned the wheel once. Yoshi met another young backpacker, a guy named Pony. He's a teacher on vacation, with the heart of a poet and the soul of a saint. One day, Pony met Kevin, a climbing companion and legendary backpacker photographer who traversed South America. Captured countless stunning photos. Three kindred young men chatted happily about past jobs. They reminisced about places visited. Yoshi hit it off with a girl, making a homemade herbal brew, only to find themselves drifting into dreamland. One day, Yoshi roamed the streets solo, only to be spotted by a man who exclaimed, "Oh, another old-timer. What a coincidence." Subtitle: Carl, a part-time jungle guide escaping reality, tells of jungle secrets full of vibrant sounds. Listening eagerly, Yoshi yearned to explore this hidden world Carl was describing. So, Yoshi told his pals to explore the jungle and see real indigenous Indians' life. The buddies were skeptical, thinking Carl was spinning yarns. But eventually, they agreed to meet him. Carl said, "A map in the forest is useless. We have to hike up to his llamas on this trip." They thought Carl was just a smooth talker, but when he mentioned photographer, they were immediately hooked. "You're a photographer, right?" "Yep. Those photos will get you to international spots." Carl charged each of them $50 to be his guide, but they'd split the loot too. Now it was just up to Pony. With the two friends eager to go, they were like, "What do you say?" "Sounds great, let's go." He quickly stocked up, not bothering with much food because, in the jungle, nobody goes hungry. They even grabbed some excitement boosters, a lighter, and a hunting rifle. Who's shelling out for this? They hopped on the Apollo flying ship, and on November 4, 1981, they set off on foot into the Amazon jungle. Everyone was thrilled. Carl said, "This is Earth's last wild frontier. Humans are the cancer here." It was their first night in the jungle, and Pony got a surprise attack. He thought it was a pesky bat, but nope, it turned out to be a real killer. On the second day, the trio was still all smiles, dreaming of the unknown magical world ahead. The sky was clear, but Carl warned them rain was coming soon, and it would just be They began drying clothes. Food was scarce. Carl said, "No worry, we'll food tomorrow." The trio struggled to keep up with Carl, especially Pony, who was dragging everyone's speed down. Pony was the first to worry, while Kevin said, "Let's follow the river." But Pony set down his pack, believing waiting for Carl was the smarter move. Subtitles: The trio's first dispute arose. Kevin sensed Pony was there to relax when noises echoed in the forest. They encountered the Colorado Chicos tribe that Carl mentioned, and soon after found Carl, eager to tell him they'd like to be informed if he wandered off again. "Sorry, I didn't know you were right there. I thought you were trying to ghost us. This is Ace Llamas, a tribe in the jungle." Looks like Carl wasn't exaggerating. It's bursting with life. The sounds of laughing children, the aromas of cooking filled the air, and their vibrant nightlife was a treat as they tried the local delicacies. After a day's rest, they pressed on. Surprisingly, Yoshi found gold, rice grain-sized, in a water area. Next, amazing scenery emerged, and Kevin quickly got his camera. Colorful butterflies were fluttering. Yoshi stood in the middle of the beautiful butterflies, arms wide open, soaking in the amazing sight. As mealtime approached, Carl spotted a monkey and took aim. Bang. This was what Carl meant. Real food from the jungle, a grain of rice. Well, Kevin and Yoshi dug in, but Pony couldn't handle it. Carl warned them they needed to keep the fire burning tonight because wherever there's a monkey, there are jaguars lurking. And hey, to jaguars, we're just fat monkeys. Pony's feet were torn, worsening his condition and slowing the team. Carl bandaged him. Kevin and Yoshi offered help, saying they'd share his load tomorrow, yet Pony was still too slow. Carl reminded them they had to escape before the rainy season hit, otherwise they'd be stuck forever. If they kept hanging around, they'd turn into jungle mummies. With Pony's foot injury getting worse, he felt like a liability. That night he told Yoshi, "We've lost all our friends. I really don't know what to do." Yoshi responded, but it didn't lift Pony's mood at all. Carl suggested they either stay and wait for Pony to recover or go back to Isleomas. But since they left there 3 or 4 days ago, it felt like a long trek back. However, the two friends refused to quit as their adventure had just begun. Youthfully determined, they carried Pony onward. However, it was unrealistic. Kevin thought, why not follow the river and build a raft to float downstream? Though Carl disagreed, it might be the best way. All three agreed eventually. Carl couldn't argue, so he chopped trees for the raft, rolled bark into ropes, and Yoshi got bitten by an ant while working. Carl said, "These are fire ants." First missionaries tied non-Christian Indians to trees and covered them with fire ants, and they converted after that. After prepping their things, they finally launched the raft into the Amazon River under Carl's command. As they sailed, the sight of nature on both banks filled them with joy and excitement. Soon, they encountered a rough patch of water. In a moment of crisis, Carl fell out of sync, and Kevin almost threw punches at him on the raft. Pony tried to mediate, but Kevin shoved him away, and they were stuck in a stalemate. They had no choice but to pull over for safety. Kevin questioned Captain Carl, who angrily stormed off into the jungle for food, while the others regrouped. Subtitles. They waited anxiously for his return. It was truly a long-awaited comeback.